Star Wars The Clone Wars was and still is one of my all-time personal favorite TV shows. In saying this, it was a massive undertaking, and throughout its expansive 6 official seasons, there were bound to be a couple of interesting facts sprinkled within. Throughout this video, we will be giving you 21 facts about Star Wars The Clone Wars that, if you're not a diehard fan like me, you probably didn't know. The chest piece Anakin wears throughout the show is the same design as the one he would later wear as Darth Vader. Dave Filoni's favourite character is Plo Koon due to his calm, serene, and measured nature throughout the show. Shown through his actions in Star Wars The Clone Wars and the prequels alike, Anakin Skywalker, if in a real-world scenario, would be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. He exceeds the diagnostic criteria by 1, meeting 6 of the 9 points needed to be classified for the disorder. Kit Fisto was voiced by American voice actor and comedian Phil LaMarr. His voice in The Clone Wars was inspired by a 1970s 7-Up commercial that featured actor Jeffrey Holder imitating a Caribbean accent. Ahsoka Tano was originally supposed to have an Icelandic accent. When voice actress Ashley Eckstein tried the accent, however, producers suddenly decided Ahsoka didn't need the accent anymore. The population of Coruscant is approximately 1 trillion. Whilst animating Star Wars The Clone Wars, the crew met with Peter Mayhew, the actor of Chewbacca, to ensure that they had the appearance, character, and body language of the Wookiee correct. Around 80 animators worked on Star Wars The Clone Wars on a weekly basis. In the original script for the Season 5 episode where Ahsoka was framed and consequently left the Jedi Order, Barriss Offee commits suicide by blowing up her cell with microbots. Jedi Master and General Plo Koon was the one who found Ahsoka and subsequently took her to the Jedi Temple. This explains why they developed a friendship throughout the Clone Wars and why he had always been interested in her progress. Ahsoka Tano's mannerisms were based off the mannerisms of Princess Leia. Saw Gerrera is the first and only character from an animated Star Wars series that transitioned to be in any of the live-action Star Wars movies. Although this fact is rather well known by this point, I'll add it in for anyone who may be unfamiliar. The 501st Medic Kix fought for the Republic right up until he discovered Order 66. He was subsequently captured by the Separatists and interrogated for months. He was then locked in a stasis for decades until a crew of pirates led by the Crimson Corsair discovered him. They then recovered him from the stasis and he joined the group. The V-19 starfighter pilot known as Axe was one of the only clones who was ever over 6 foot due to a genetic deformity. He came in at a huge 6 foot 8 inches or 208 centimeters. The Clone Wars episode titled Blue Shadow Virus that premiered on 13th February 2009 reflected the swine flu pandemic that was occurring at the time. Dave Filoni decided that Katunko, the king of Toydaria, should have a longer snout than the average Toydarian because he was the king. Sound designer Matthew Wood had full control over what the droids said due to their animations not having mouths that moved. This allowed Wood to occasionally add in dialogue late into the production stage without the rest of the crew knowing. At the end of Season 1 Episode 1, the sound of the bird that lands on Yoda's hand is the sound of Star Wars The Clone Wars sound designer David Accord's cat. The animators working on Star Wars The Clone Wars would often do 80 to 100 shots per day. The twin sisters, Tipli and Tiplar, according to the Jedi Code, were technically not allowed to be fighting together as the Jedi Order forbade attachments, especially whilst in battle. The horns seen on Darth Maul's head were originally supposed to be feathers, but were later changed for obvious reasons.